you know it's officially winter when the heater comes out because it's freaking freezing here. So it's officially been 2 years since I started the program, which was basically an overhaul in my entire fitness, health, wellness, workout, everything, my entire life. I did a 180 in my life 2 years ago. In November of 2022, I signed up to an online coaching platform and I basically just did. I changed everything about my life. I started tracking the things that I was eating. I started and committed to a consistent workout routine. I started tracking my steps. I started being more mindful of my recovery and my sleep and just everything. And over the last 2 years since doing this, I feel like I have just been ebbing and flowing and finding my way to a daily routine that works for me. And sometimes when we get really tired and really busy in our life, when there's lots of travel, if we're just, the different seasons of life bring the different busyness as it comes. And definitely over the last few months, I feel like I have just lost the plot when it comes to my health and fitness and everything routine, and all of that hard work and muscle that I had been building and this lifestyle that I had become so in love with, I've kind of just let fall and sprinkle away, and that's fine. I know it's been a busier time, but basically I am ready to dive back into Hot Girl Winter and lock in and recommit to my goals, and I am ready to do a little winter shred. And because we had so much fun with it last year, I'm gonna bring you along with me. Last year I uploaded a video titled The 7 Things I'm Doing to Have a Hot Girl Winter, and it was basically just recommitting to the principles of my program. But for this year we're switching it up, condensing it a little bit, and we're gonna do the 5 things to have a hot girl winter, okay? Now I know all the cool kids on the block are calling it a winter arc. Winter arc. I don't know why, it just doesn't roll off the tongue for me, okay? The Hot Girl Winter was just a fun little spin on the little internet moment of everyone going on their hot girl walks. I was like, lol, there's a lot more we gotta talk about than just the walking, so we're just gonna have a hot girl winter. And then it turned into hot girl summer, and it's just fun. You can call it whatever you want. You don't have to call it anything. You can just call it life, and it is the lifestyle that you are committing to doing. But we're just gonna amp it up a bit, take it up a notch, and be a little bit more disciplined as we go into the winter. And this is just what I need right now to bring myself back, get back into my routines, recommit to the pillars of Hot Girl Winter and the program, and just, bring my biceps out of hiding. So my friends, welcome to Hot Girl Winter. Here are the 5 things that we are doing to feel and look our best going into 2025. Number 1 is weight training, strength training, however you want to bundle it, but picking up weights and putting them back down, being consistent with a routine. Obviously, I have tried many different variations of workouts in the past. I have had my moment with spin. I've had my moment with F45, which I will say was an amazing introduction if you are completely new to strength training and workouts. I found F45 just like kind of did everything, and it was the most fun version, I guess, of strength training class fitness, like the marrying of the two worlds. I really enjoyed F45, and I still do love to do an F45 class every once in a while. That being said, there's millions of free strength and workout videos that you can follow here on YouTube. If you wanted to do TikTok, you can do that too. I definitely had my time in the sun with the at-home workouts and being left to my own devices, and I have done all the tracking and created my own workout plans. Like, there's so much free information for you online, absolutely. I personally like to be held accountable by someone. I can be very lazy when it comes to my workouts, and I love to talk myself out of doing a workout, so I do like to have a person that I can speak to, which is where my program comes into. I'm still signed up to DIY Body, and Dawn is my trainer, and this has personally been the best way for me to kind of get that personal-ish one-on-one training where I am having someone create my workouts and create a plan for me, but it's obviously much more affordable than doing in-person training. Like, I have looked at some of the prices of personal trainers, and if you are interested in doing that route, that's amazing for you. Me and Dan are not prepared to do like $150 plus per hour for a personal trainer. We also, whatever. We have an at-home gym. We've invested in it, and we love DIY Body. We love the function of it. I love having the app. I love being able to time my workouts. That's super fun. It's what works for us. Obviously, everyone's going to be different in what works for them, but all that matters is sticking to a consistent workout plan. So whatever it is that you're doing, whatever workouts you're doing, if you like to go to classes, if you like to go to the gym, if you're doing at-home workouts, whatever it is, just do something and stick to it. Be consistent with it. And depending on what your goals are, that's going to determine the kind of strength training that you want to do. Obviously, I want to build muscle. I want to get stronger. I want to get faster. I want to get more ripped. So I am trying to lift heavy weights, and that is the kind of overarching guide when it comes to my strength workouts. So do your strength workouts and be consistent with it. I really don't know how people talk through their workouts like this, because I just breathe so heavily. Also, one of my favorite things about working out at home is I just get to be in my slippers. Love that about an upper body day. Chef's kiss. Now listen, when it comes to my actual workouts and my workout split, I've tried many different splits over the last 2 years of doing my online training program, and even before that when I was doing my own workouts. And regardless of what the split is between your upper body and lower body, I've tried everything from 3 days a week to 5 days a week. And I have just found that when I do less days per week, I just really fall off the wagon so much easier. I kind of lose my motivation. I find that I feel a little bit more weak. I don't know. My personal preference is to do 5 days a week and 2 rest days. And my workout split within those 5 days are 2 upper body focus, push and pull. I like to do 1 full body day per week, which is kind of just like all my additional movements that I want to get in. And then I have 2 lower body. Usually it's like glute and then quad focus between the 2 days. And then I try and do an extra little glute on my full body day. So it really ends up being like 3 leg days, 2 upper body days. I like to focus on lots of shoulders. I like to focus on lots of glutes because that's what I'm trying to build. I want to have my little shoulder caps popping. I want to have my glute popping. And 5 strength days per week is my current workout split. And yes, I do wear gloves because I don't want calluses. They hurt. I'd like to just say one final thing about strength workouts, and I know that a lot of us can just find it so boring and it can seem so repetitive and you can be so tempted to switch it up, and I know that it can be so dry, but I always try to remind myself that the muscle groups are not changing. A bicep is a bicep, a glute is a glute. There is scientific evidence, there are proven moves that target each of those muscles the best, and why stray from them? Why do all these crazy workouts and move your body in such a way when you can just do very clean, simple, effective workouts and save the fun things for the bonus? Like, I love to play tennis. I'm excited to start going to Pilates. I can do yoga. I can do classes every once in a while when I want to scratch that itch. But at the end of the day, if I just do these very basic fundamental movements for my muscles, that is going to be the most effective. And doing that consistently is where you're going to see change and you're going to grow strength, progressive overload, all that good stuff. I know it might seem boring, but the human body is the human body, my friends. You don't need to reinvent the wheel with 75 different bicep curl variations, okay? Okay. That's just my opinion. Take with it what you will. Number 2 are your steps, having a daily step goal. Now, I know there's a lot of discussion and a lot of uproar when it comes to just how many steps you should be doing. Obviously, you have to determine that for yourself. If you're a more active person or if you're a less active person, if your job kind of interferes with you getting steps and you're seated at a desk all day, or if you are on your feet all day, obviously you just have to determine what's best for you. For me personally, anywhere between 10 and 15,000 steps a day is a really good place for me. Ideally, if I can get a little bit more, that would be nice, but that's just what I'm doing. That's my goal going into hot girl winter, okay? Anything between 10 and 15 on the upper side of that is ideal. And don't sleep on the step goal. It makes a huge difference in how you feel every day. And obviously if you have physical goals as well, it's gonna make a huge difference and you will feel much better for it. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, over the last 2 years of me doing this, I've really come to love my time on the treadmill when I'm getting my steps in. It's really become my therapy time. I sit here and blast my little therapy playlist so hard and I just scream to myself singing along as I get my steps in. I truly, truly love my indoor walks. Unfortunately, in the Pacific Northwest, when it is also raining outside, the majority of my steps are just done on the treadmill and I don't mind. And one thing that I've done to just make my life a lot easier is I did order this little tray that goes on top of the treadmill like this. And so I can just sit and walk and sing along to my music and go about my day, or I can be productive while I'm doing so. I bring my laptop out. Sometimes I'll just be here responding to comments, especially during these busy months. And Everyday May and Landmiss, I use this in the mornings as time to reply to comments, get through my emails, do anything that I need to on my computer, and that can be a really nice way to be productive. I have also taken Zoom calls while walking very slowly on the treadmill. And when you do this, either on a treadmill or a walking pad inside, you'd be amazed at how quickly you can get through your steps in a day. You'd be amazed at how many steps you get in a day. Last Everyday May, Dan was pushing like 30,000 steps a day, which was arguably too much, but whatever works for you. And another hot tip that I'll say, if you are doing this either on your walking pad with a standing desk at home, or if you've got this little tray moment and you are working on your laptop and your arms aren't swinging, I have this little extra long Apple Watch strap that I put on my ankle, okay? So you can put whatever tracking device that you're using, put it on your ankle so that it is tracking all those steps. So this one in particular is extra long. I got it on Amazon. I wear it on my wrist, put it on my ankle as I need when I'm doing my steps on the treadmill. But you can also just buy separate step trackers if you don't have an Apple Watch. It also works for the Fitbit, whatever you're using. It's just a good little tip if you're using this method to get your steps in, to make sure that you are getting them all in. Who, me? Well, yes, I am getting my steps in while also hydrating and being productive on my laptop as well. Number 3 is cardio, and I feel like this is a good place for me to just insert the little usual disclaimer where I say I am not a trainer, okay? I'm not here to tell you what is best for you. I am simply here telling you what works best for me, and if you would like to follow along with the journey, obviously you can take inspiration where you may, but it's always important to consult professionals before you go and do anything too crazy, okay? So when it comes to cardio, especially, this is where I'm just gonna let you know what's worked best for me. Now for this hot girl winter, I am looking to do 3 days per week of cardio. I play a lot of tennis. I love to play a lot of tennis for sure, but that can actually be either really physically active or not. Some days you can have a really slow tennis day. Some days you can just be standing there and serving and it's just nothing's going on. There's not a lot of action. So for me, tennis is kind of a plus. That's something I do for fun. That's something that ultimately counts towards my daily step goal. And I might have a little elevated heart rate every once in a while, but ultimately I need a little bit more. And I really want to be sticking to my running and my sprints. I'm just not a running gal. I can't bring myself to get into going for outdoor runs or going for long runs, long distance running, slow running. It's just not for me. It's something that I might get more into in the future, and I look forward to potentially being able to do that. But for my asthma, for my sanity, and my boredom, I'm just gonna stick to my short sprints, my little HIIT workouts. Whatever way you wanna elevate your heart rate, whatever way you wanna get your sweat in is gonna be what works best for you. I've got my Peloton treadmill. I love it. And I am aiming to do at least 3 days per week of these runs. It's so funny. I don't know why my mind plays tricks on me like this. I really do love my sprint classes, but for whatever reason, that lead up to it is just like you've really got to get your mind in the zone, especially when you're freezing. Do you see this calendar? It is looking tragically empty. Tragically empty. It's because I was traveling from November 1st to November 23rd. And that was a very sad time to see such an empty calendar. My goal, my mission for this month and this hot girl winter is to have a blackout calendar during December. I would like to be doing this, either an indoor, outdoor walk or a run every single day on Peloton. That's the nice thing about having the watch and the app is you can track your outdoor walks and runs as well. So even if I'm just doing walks, nice little casual strolls, or if I'm doing my HIIT classes, I want to do one every single day until the new year. That is my personal goal. I've never done it before. I've never had a blackout calendar on the Peloton, and it is my dream. We'll see. I'm getting started early. It is currently the 28th, so I'm cheating a little bit, but you best believe I've got my eyes on December. So on my little Peloton screen here, I go into running, and then by filter, I always go by 20 and 30 minutes. I do the intervals. And here's where I find all of my favorite HIIT classes. I love Kristen's classes so much. I also love Marcel's classes. I love Alex's classes, Hannah Frankson, Olivia's classes. Yes. No, I don't love the intervals. I like the HIIT runs. And I always go on and I check the playlist first. And listen, this might sound really picky to me, but I wish I could do these classes to my own music because I'm just very specific with the songs that I like to run to. And not everybody on here feels the same as me. So I definitely go through the playlist and I get a little bit picky about the songs that I choose to run to. And anytime I like a playlist, I save it for later. I'm like, yes, that's a good one. Okay, this one's fun. Kristen Ferguson, let's rock and roll. Number 4 is sticking to a meal plan. Now again, this is very much especially going to be catered to the individual person depending on what your goals are. I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a nutritionist. I definitely have played a lot in the food space and I could stand to learn a lot more. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but if you did want to see my little meal plan, my little what I eat in a week during a little winter shred, I will happily do that for you. But you know those annoying slogans and sayings like abs are made in the kitchen, you are what you eat. Those have proven to be very true in the last 2 years that I've been following my program and working with a trainer who also provides me with a meal plan. Obviously, I try to keep it as balanced as possible with my lifestyle, but when I'm locking into a winter cut, the meal plan is everything. Making sure that I'm getting my protein in. I'm gonna be in a little calorie deficit. I wanna get those muscles popping. It's not gonna be for everyone. I know not everyone loves to count their macros and count their calories and track their food. For me, I treat it like a fun little science experiment, all while staying sane and enjoying what life has to offer. I know that it's a touchy subject, so I don't wanna dive too deeply in it. People love to yell at food discussion on the internet, so I'm just letting you know, yes, I am following a meal plan for hot girl winter, and unfortunately, it is very important if you want to see physical changes in your body and just to be a healthier person in general, you got to be aware of what you're putting into your body. And finally, number 5, last but certainly not least, is sleep. While in the past I have stressed deeply about trying to cover all of the things, like all of the mobility and the recovery and the stretching and the yoga and doing the most, ultimately the most important thing for me above all of it when it comes to the recovery space is making sure that I am getting a good sleep. I am not a good person when I do not get my full hours of Z's, okay? Sleep is very important to me. As a matter of fact, it shouldn't be last, it should be number one. It is number one in my life because sleep is everything. Now, I'm not a sleep doctor, but there's definitely a few things that I do to ensure that I have a good night's sleep, and it's just so important. And you guys, unfortunately, have many years of evidence of how squirrely and unwell I get when I am not sleeping. If I am not sleeping for a consistent period of time, I just get ill, my body shuts down, and I simply combust. So sleep is so important. I mean, trying to live a healthy lifestyle, if you're working out a lot, like the recovery is so very important. More so than stretching, more so than anything. No amount of Epsom salt baths are gonna cure what a good sleep can do. So sleep is number one, and all of the other fun, fluffy recovery things are just piled on top of that again for me. And that is why it is just getting its own final dedicated category. Sleep is king. And with that, my friends, those are the 5 things that I am doing this hot girl winter, going into the new year, feeling like the best and strongest version of myself. Obviously, I'm gonna bring you guys along for the journey. There's going to be more vlogs and more posted on Instagram and all that good stuff, but I just wanted to have this little moment, give it its own little video. Here's the 5 things that I'm doing to have a hot girl winter, and I'm gonna do check-ins throughout. We'll definitely chat lots more about it in the vlogs throughout Landmas, and then I'll do a nice big check-in in January to see if we achieved Wonder Woman superhero status, okay? If there's anything in particular that you want to see from me as we go throughout the hot girl winter journey, obviously please do let me know in the comments down below, and also let me know if you're going to be joining me for this little hot girl winter season. Love you all so much. Thank you for being here and for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow for a new Landmas video. Bye! Gotta roll up the car, man. I've rolled up the car, man. Yeah.